What's up, guys? I'm gonna be talking about some older games I used to play back in the day, probably around PlayStation 4 era. I'm feeling a little nostalgic, so I figured I would revisit these games. The first game I'm gonna be talking about, I don't really have footage of, because the game's no longer available to play, and also uh, I'm not gonna really use anyone else's footage. The only footage I have is on an old YouTube channel, probably 6 years ago, and it's maybe 10 seconds of footage. The game I'm gonna be talking about is called Guns Up. Guns Up was a pretty simple game to kind of learn and get into. It was sort of similar to like a Clash of Clans in the fact that you had to kind of raid other people's bases and get like loot from them, and you can use like cards and different troops and stuff like that to kind of plan out your attack towards the base. It's not exactly like Clash of Clans. It was definitely its own title. Like, instead of it being like a set map or like you watch it, you slowly, like, almost 2D like Mario style. Like, if you ran right, like, you slowly see more and more of the world. It was very much like that with Guns Up. I would show some footage of that, but I don't really want to use anyone else's, and I don't have any myself. But it was kind of like Clash of Clans, but it was definitely a lot different at the same time. I remember playing it. I probably had, honestly, I probably had like 200 hours in the game. I had a pretty good base. I remember. Usually you get like defenses, like you can get like sniper nests and like bunkers and stuff like that. I remember mine were like concrete and metal and stuff like that. Like, it was a pretty hard grind to get to. But this game was so fun back in the day. It was literally like you hop on and there's like different game modes. Like, you can play like the normal, like, attack someone else's base, or sometimes you can watch your own base defended. But there's also like AI defense mode that you can do, where they are just send droves and droves of enemy troops. I think some of the troops in the game was like the basic grunt that had like an M1 Garand, or however you say it, Grand, like a submachine gun guy, a machine gun guy. They had a sniper, a minigun dude, like grenade launcher, a rocket launcher, and like a upgraded grenade launcher guy, like a bombardier. He'd just throw a bunch of bombs. I remember this game used to be so fun back in the day. I wish there was a game like it right now. I know that they came out with a sequel called Guns Up Mobile, I think it was. I played that a little while. I didn't think it was the same. I recently, maybe a few months ago, got back into it. I thought it was actually really fun. Like, they updated it well, but it turns out that they were shutting it down again, like they were with the original one, which is kind of like, it really sucks. I remember really, really liking that game. It was so fun. I remember I could just like hop on for hours. Me and my friends had like this clan where we could do like clan battles. It really was like Clash of Clans kind of, but we would hop on. We'd do clan battles for rewards and stuff like that. Like, you can get like power ups for troops. Like, you can equip like equipment and stuff on them, which was way before Clash of Clans introduced that to their heroes. But there's also like cards, like there's like these focus fires, like focus like walls, like weak points or something like that, to like get a better entrance into a base, or like missiles and stuff like that that you can like use to launch it, like bunkers or sniper towers or something like that. But there's like so many levels, because there was also like anti-air and stuff, so it's like you had to like really plan it out. It was a really fun game. It wasn't even like hard to grind or hard to get into. Like, it was really simple, but it was also just like, it was so fun, and like you can just turn your brain off and play it. It was a great game. The second game I'm going to be talking about was a game called AirMech Arena. Now, technically the game is still up, but it's only on PC. Probably the version you're seeing right now is what I'm playing. And this game is also just another one of those really fun ones. Me and my friend used to hop on. I don't know if I have footage for this one, at least on the PlayStation, so I'm probably going to just record this on PC and show you the footage there. But I remember you were essentially like this robot, right? Like this big giant like mech. And at least the game mode I played most of the time was like an AI survival waves kind of thing. So like, you'd be put down, you'd have like your main HQ, and like you can go get like some outposts and stuff. It wasn't like, it was kind of round base or something like that. Like, there was no like you could upgrade the base or anything like that. Like, you just kind of load it in, and you'd place troops down, defend the AI like waves and stuff like that, and then you'd reset every wave. So there wasn't anything to really like upgrade in that way. Like the main purchases were I think like the troops, and you could upgrade the troops and like get different like mechs and stuff. The base wasn't really the focus, but it was really fun because I remember I'd always place down like the tanks and like the anti-air artillery and stuff like that, and then the the AI like motorcycles would come, and then the AI tanks, and then they had like boss tanks you'd have to fight. It was such a fun game. I I haven't played it in so long. I wonder how the PC version is. And I hate that they shut it down too because it really was such like a unique game for the time. Like I remember they would have options to buy different mechs. Like some would be like a guy with a minigun, others would be like two assault rifles for arms and stuff like that. But it wasn't just like you were a mech. Like your mech, the whole point was like the mech was also like a vehicle. So like for example, you could be the mech with the minigun, and then you'd press a button and you transform into like an A-10 Warthog or something like that, or a helicopter or a stealth bomber, B-2 stealth bomber. And it was so fun because you could like pick and choose the cool vehicles and get the cool weapons and stuff. Like there was an air mode, a ground mode, and then you just fight a bunch of waves. There was also like I think a versus mode where you and another player would kind of have opposite ends of the map, and then you two would have to like make AI or not AI, like you'd have like troops for you, like bot troops, like and you'd command two armies and like fight at the front line, take over outposts, and eventually try and destroy the other players' HQ. Genuinely, some of the most fun I think I've ever had in gaming were those two games. I really miss both of them. This last little segment I'm doing here is going to be slightly different than talking about games I've played in the past. This one is going to be talking about what I think the one of the perfect games or most perfect games for me would be, at least right now at the time. I like games kind of like Ark Survival Evolved or like Rust or something like that. Like I really like the combat in that game. I just wish there was more of like an AI aspect in those games. So like Rust, you can like build your own base, and like it can be like single player, co-op, or multiplayer. Like all of those would work in the game. Like you can have a multiplayer servers, you can have co-op servers, you can have solo servers. But the primary focus, at least for like a solo kind of game, would be like you're placed on this map, right? Like it's a pretty decently sized map. It's procedurally generated, kind of like a Rust or like not really an Ark, kind of like a Rust map. And you can build your base up, and it looks again realistic, kind of like a Rust or like an Ark Survival Evolved or Ascended game. And you'd have to like upgrade your gear. You'd have to raid NPC bases, and like where it kind of differs from Rust or Ark would be like there's much more of like a factory building aspect to it. So like you can kind of set up like conveyor belts or like miners, like or not miners, like a quarry or something, and you can have people work it, get resources and stuff, and make like ammo and weapons and vehicles and stuff like that. And you can kind of manage like a not really like a nation, but more of like a group of people. Like I don't know how many, like maybe a few hundred or something like that. Like nothing crazy, and you'd kind of just like go in there, you'd fight, and then it'd be like faction on faction fights, and you can like take over and beat the map and stuff like that. Like I feel like there isn't a lot of games like that out there. Maybe it's a complicated or niche ask, but I feel like if a game like that came out, I would genuinely spend like over $100 on it. I think that would be a great idea for a game. I don't know if anyone else has had this idea, if there's a game like that I'm missing. The closest games I can think of that are kind of similar to that would be like a X4 Foundations or something like that. But that doesn't like quite scratch the itch because I like the base building, and it's like you can custom make something versus it being just a bunch of prefabs. But yeah, that was just my gaming rant I wanted to do because I like Guns Up and I like AirMech Arena, and I feel like talking about a cool game that I would hopefully like to see in the future be made, or maybe there is like a niche game out there that's exactly like that. But if you guys know in the comments, I'd love to know because I'm just looking for more games like that, like a Rust, but there's slightly more like automation and like NPC control and stuff like that. Like that kind of features would be the absolutely perfect game for me. I just wanted to talk about it. So I'll see you guys later.